I don't know whether the Justice Department is going to take any action at all, but they could. I would. If I were Attorney General, you can't have that. That's anarchy. Now, the Chicago chief of police, a man named Larry Snelling, he knows that his chief of patrol, second in command, committed a federal crime. He knows it, Snelling. Here's what he said.
Our officers were not told to stand down. Our officers were out there throughout the entire event. I would never tell our officers to stand down, because if our officers were in trouble and we needed help from other officers, I would expect those officers to step in and help us. And it's the same thing that we do on our side.
Snelling's not telling the truth. Obviously, the tape contradicts him. He goes, our officers were not told to stand down? Yeah, they were. And there's no two sides to the story, Chief. You're looking like you're not an honest man. Okay, let's get to the Supreme Court. They're going to have to sort all this out because it is one big mess. And Congress is at fault because you don't keep an antiquated law from 1952 on the books without updating it in the face of Armageddon, in the face of unbelievable intrusion on the part of foreign nationals to this country. Congress doesn't do a thing because both party uses this for their own political benefit. The conservatives want everybody out, the liberals want everybody in. So the Democrats want everybody in, and the Republicans won't, they don't want to compromise on it. So that's just Congress. So the Supreme Court's got to step in. Now, in my possession is a document. I don't know if this document is in anyone else's possession. I have the original document. It is signed by then Attorney General Robert Kennedy in 1963. This is when the president, John F. Kennedy, sent 17,000 National Guard troops to Alabama to force Governor Wallace and the state to admit 9 students into Alabama public schools because Alabama was not obeying the civil rights law. They were flaunting, we're not going to obey it. 17,000 were ordered down. So RFK writes a memo to a senator from Louisiana, who was, of course, on the side of Alabama, saying, no, you don't have the right to send a guard here. Here's what RFK said, quote, when it appeared that the commands of that order had not been obeyed and the obstruction of justice was continuing, the president on the same day issued Executive Order 1111, authorizing and directing the Secretary of Defense to take all appropriate steps to remove obstruction of justice in the state of Alabama. For this purpose, he was authorized and directed inter alia means among other things, to call into active military service of the United States and use any or all units of the Army National Guard or Air National Guard of the state of Alabama. Both the proclamation and executive order were issued under and expressly invoked the authority of the U.S. Code Title 10. Now, that is justification for what Donald Trump is doing right now. Okay? Robert Kennedy called it obstruction of justice. I'm calling it hindering a federal investigation, but it's the same thing. When a state, city, county, whatever it is, says to the federal government, we're not obeying the federal law, the president has the authority to move in and force them to do it. Okay? Now, the president does not have the authority to run the Chicago Police Department. But if somebody in that department hinders the feds, which obviously happened in Chicago, they can be charged. All right, so I think that's the best analysis you're ever going to get of what is happening now. It'll go to the Supreme Court, and I expect the Supreme Court will rule 5-4, maybe 6-3 in President Trump's favor. The liberal judges don't care about the law or the Constitution, they just vote on. And some conservative judges, too, to be fair, do. But on this case, with that Kennedy memo, okay, and I actually sent that memo that I have because I don't think anybody else has it, to the White House. I sent it there. Now, whether they look at it, I don't even know. Let's face it, the U.S. economy is under stress. National debt rising, trade war shaking the markets. And meanwhile, China is dumping the dollar and stockpiling gold. That's why I protected my savings with physical gold and silver through the only dealer I trust, American Hartford Gold. And you can do this. Get precious metals delivered to your door or place in a tax-advantaged gold IRA. They'll even help you roll over your existing IRA or 401k, tax and penalty free. With billions in precious metals delivered, thousands of five-star reviews, and an A+ from the Better Business Bureau, you can trust American Hartford Gold as I do. Please call 866-501-5201 or text BILL to 65532. Again, that's 866-501-5201 or text BILL to 65532. Thank you for watching. To view full episodes of the No Spin News anytime, sign up to become a BillO'Reilly.com premium or concierge member today.